I am your host, Leah Denlap, and you are listening to the Oracle on Purpose podcast, where we help intentional leaders clarify their purpose and next steps to create a work and life of significance. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm your host, Leah Denlap, and this is the Oracle on Purpose podcast. We are part of a fantastic event today, the Podapalooza podcast event. And so I'm excited to have a special guest. My guest today is Denise Belisle, and I'm really excited because as a woman over 50 myself, I can appreciate the need for someone like her out in the world helping women like myself. Denise is a serenity expert and a positive intelligence specialist. Now, that's hard for my lisp, but I want to say it again because I think it's so important. Positive intelligence specialist. She specializes in working with professionals in their 50s and over who feel like they are on the hamster wheel of new normal. She empowers them to bring back the spark and in their lives and unleashes their inner strength. Denise will work with her brave clients and design a personalized plan that will help them have better relationships, bring more joy and excitement back into their life by building their emotional and mental fitness strength. It sounds lovely and delicious. I am so excited to have you here, Denise, today. I know that as we are doing all these great interviews today, there is so much good information. And what I like to do is share with my guest how my interviewees got started, what their purpose is. And we really focus on that here, like the understanding that our purpose really does lead us to our prosperity. So I'd love to ask you a quick few questions as we get started here. The biggest and most important to me is like, where did you start off in getting on this path for yourself? And how do you feel like this is an aligned purpose in the work that you do?
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me as your guest. And thank you for that question. How did I get started? Well, way back in the time, once upon a time. Oh no, we only have 20 minutes. When I was a teenager, a young adult, I vowed to never grow old. I was looking at people our age, and I was like, I'm never going to be old like that, you know. And then that started my path to where I am today. And over the years, I always got interested to read about mental wellness, about health and wellness, reading about how to live a longer life, extend your life, everything you could imagine. And what was that is a lot about mindset, a lot about what you think, the way you think. Whatever you focus on, you will get more of it. And all these things that we hear, right? If you think about, getting old, you'll get old. But it also internally, like what do I eat? What do I drink? What do I smoke? Do I not smoke? And all of that. And I've decided that I wanted to live a clean life, not boring. Clean doesn't mean boring, but to live a healthy life so that I can have a happy, long lasting life. And everything converged in my life towards learning different things. I did a big shift when I started emotional intelligence in the 90s. And now I'm also doing positive intelligence, which is work hand in hands with one another. And that's how I became a serenity expert, because I apply what I read, I apply what I teach. And I learned not to get, shaken about event of every day and appreciate everything that I have in my life.
Oh, yes. And I like that. A clean life does not mean boring. Yes, the appreciation of all the amazing juiciness that is life. I think that's such a great piece of us really being full of our purpose and being here on purpose is to enjoy the life that we have. It's not to be in suffering. And so I find that phrase, positive intelligence, I think that's a really sweet sound to a lot of people's ear right now. It feels like there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of clutter, there's a lot at us. And as you said, people can feel like they're on the hamster wheel of just getting it done and being so involved in the hustle. And that's the other word, right? The hustle of getting things to the end. What do you see as you look at the work that you're doing? What do you feel your work has provided as a positive impact on the world as a whole, based on that idea that there's so much out there, there's so much noise, and there are so many women at that level where they have just taken all of that and they are just running around like crazy, what do you see for yourself that you've provided as a positive impact on the world?
Yeah, it's a good question. What I found is it's the ripple effect. Mm-hmm. I talk often about the three-level relationship, the I, the we, and the they. And the I, which is me, and the I for you is you, is so important. Because people look at me, they listen to me, they walk into my house, and it's like, wow, this is so peaceful here. And you don't walk in everybody's house and thinks that, right? Like there's like they feel at ease around me. They feel that they can be themselves. They feel. And when I coach people that that's the same way, I kind of leak on them on how, to become more serene and more peaceful and live their life to the fullest and bring the spark back in their life, and for the good reason. So I feel that when I influence one person, if I influence one person a day to be more positive, then that person will go in their circle in their own they or their own we, and they will influence the people around them if they carry that peace with them, or that joy or that excitement. And we're too focused, I found in general, we're way too focused on the negative. So by changing the mindset to focus on the positive, focus on what's good in your life, focus on all the things that you're thankful for, and that will change. Like I bring more of that when I'm around people, for them to really see a different perspective. And sometimes that's all we need.
Absolutely. Sometimes that is all we need. And I agree that there's, in our work here in my field, in my sphere, we talk a lot about gratitude and that real deep, compassionate gratitude for what we have and what we do want and what we do enjoy and what we do like. And you're right. I think that a lot of times people tend to focus on not just the negative, but also on the lack, right? On what they don't have. Because not just what happened that went wrong, it's also what you're hoping and wishing was or wasn't. So I think it's a really good point. And I think that that's a beautiful thought that, when you invite people into your space, that you're bringing them into that serenity of calm and acceptance, which I love, that people feel, like you said, like they can be themselves around you, which is such an important piece of what we do here in the Oracle on Purpose, is to show people who you really uniquely are is meant to be here. You're meant to be here, just the way you are. And that is something to celebrate. So what is, as we look at like that thought, what is your biggest vision for yourself and your life moving forward?
Is to live to 150 years old, down to 50 years old.
I love it.
Healthy,
oh my gosh.
Not with a cane in a wheelchair and on a bed, but to live healthy and joyful and energetic and full of vibrancy to my old age, and to have a lot of people like me around me that live to the old age, but be happy and energetic. I'm always excited that I don't remember her name, sorry, but there's a lady I heard of years ago. She was 92 years old. She was a scientist, and she still worked, and she's still in her laboratories, and she was still working on her passion. And I think that's amazing. I think that's absolutely amazing. She didn't do it because she needed the money. At 92 years old, you can find ways to have people take care of you if you need money. But, she did it because it was her passion. She wanted to change the world. She wanted to work on her experiment. And I thought it was pretty amazing. And being able to, if I would be able to live and help people for the next 60 years, that would be like, wow, imagine that. Right? Imagine
that indeed. And I love that number. I think so many people they hit the 100, like it's such an old number too, right? Like I'm like, today in our modern world, with all the health opportunities that we have, people are living much, much longer. And it's such a great conversation when we push that envelope, right? We push it out and we say, what if? So if you are out there at 125, or what have you, what do you want your life to really look like? And I love the idea that it's about like you said, it's not about the money at that point anymore. It's about the contribution. It's about what you're
Yeah.
here to offer the world and what you get to express. That's
And
yours. That's only
yeah.
yours. Yeah.
And science is going that way too. Science is
yeah.
working on that. And I'm sure within 20 years, which I'll still be alive, we'll find ways to reverse our aging, and we'll get younger, we'll get firmer, we'll get, stronger and more agile mentally. And then we'll live to be 125, 130 years old.
Yeah. And I think that that's a point too. It's not just the physicalness. It is the mentality, like you said, that idea that you have something to live for, that you're excited about what you're bringing and you're creating in the world. That is so wonderful. And it's such a great thought to share with everyone. But I'm curious, as we kind of round this tiny little, it's like one of those things where I could talk to these people forever. There's just not enough time in these little interviews, but I do want you to walk away and share with people right now. Like, what is that final thought? If you're talking that one person right now who feels as if that idea, the concept of, oh, I might live to 120 or even 105 at this point, what would you want them to know about what's possible? What's your final thought on that?
I feel that what's really important is to see the possibility of an amazing life. Mm-hmm. Too often, like I ask people, would you want to live forever? And they say, no way, that's horrible life. I wouldn't want to live forever. Let me die at 60 and I'll be happy. Right. But if you have your mindset of being happy, being grateful, surround yourself with amazing people, surround yourself with people that warm your heart and warm other people's heart. And the more you warm other people's heart, the more you'll have people that warm your own heart. And just be positive, be happy, be grateful. And you talk about gratefulness earlier. Appreciate life for what it is. Don't dwell on the past. Don't worry about the future. Be grateful for today and have a great time and live your life happy. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. It's okay to admit that you're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. And to not be afraid to fall down so that you can go back up and keep going. People, sometimes they play too safe, they play too secure, and they're afraid to fail, and they're afraid to, living in a fear of what if, but what if it's going to be amazing? What if you dare and you move forward and your life is going to explode in a positive fireworks of beauty? It's possible.
There we go. I like that. We're going to leave it right there. What if your life is going to explode into a positive fireworks of beauty? That is a great thought indeed. Thank you so much for being with us today. I know the people are already thinking, oh my gosh, how do I get in touch with Denise? So let's let them know. How can people reach you and find out more about what you're up to?
Yes, thank you so much. Well, they can reach you. My name is my business. I'm me. So you see in the show note, Denise at denisebelisle.com. That's my email. And my email is, my website is denisebelisle.com. And I have a gift also that I'm sure you'll put in the show note. And that gift is, it works about cleaning up your brain. We do spring cleaning for our house. We do spring cleaning for, sometimes we do a 30-day cleanse before the summer so we can fit in that little outfit we have or bikini. But what about your brain? How often do you clean your brain to leave space for beautiful things? Get rid of the negative stuff, clean that up, kick that out of the house, and then bring back beautiful things for your life. And do that, at least once a year. So that gift is a 3-step process where you can do a spring cleaning for your brain. And I will help you follow those steps and make your list. Yeah, you got to write it down and make your list and take a moment. Too often we're stuck with those devices where the cell phone and the tablet and the computer, where we don't have any downtime, where we just sit and ponder upon our life, right? There's no more of that. Like there's Netflix, there's the TV, there's the news. Turn the TV on when you walk home. There's like, watch your feed and Pinterest when you're in the bus or whenever you wait for someone in line. Like, no, take a time to ponder upon your life and reflect on where you are, where you want to be. And you're going to have an amazing life moving forward.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for being here, Denise. I appreciate
My
you.
pleasure.
And clean your brain, people. Clean your brain. Take advantage of this. We will have all that information in the show notes. Thank you again so much for being here, Denise. To everyone watching, remember, this is your life, and it is a beautiful thing. And there is so much to be grateful every day. Turning your attention to the positive side of life will rarely lead you wrong. So thanks so much for being here. Again, I am Leah Dunlap. I'm the host of Oracle on Purpose podcast. Remember, whatever you are doing, wherever you are here on purpose. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in to the Oracle on Purpose show. If you found value in this episode, we'd appreciate you leaving a comment. Also, you can subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't yet. If you'd like to get clear on your highest vision and next steps, go to oracleonpurpose.com. See you next week.